Good morning students. Today we will be learning regarding trees and their basic properties under the module 5 introduction to graph theory. So let us see the definition of trees. A tree is nothing but it is a graph. It is a graph which is said to be a tree if and only if it is connected and it doesn't have any cycle. So if you see the example over here, these are three examples for the three different sets of examples. So if you see over here, we have two vertices which has one edge between the two vertices, and then three vertices again with two different edge, and it is a connected graph. Again you can see there is a connection between all the vertices, and this is a more than three vertices. So a graph is said to be a tree if it is connected. So you can see these are the connected graph, and it doesn't have any cycle. That means it doesn't have more than one edge between the pair of vertices. So it immediately follows that tree has to be a simple graph. If you remember the concept of simple graph, there should not be any self loops and there should not be any parallel edges. For example, this is a simple graph A, B, C. Okay, meaning is nothing but it should not have any self loop and there should not be more than one parallel edge between the pair of vertices. So a tree is also a simple graph as well as it is a connected graph. If you remember the definition, a tree is nothing but it should be a connected and there should not be any cycle. No cycle should be there. So if you come back to these two examples over here, this is again he has given one set. So this cannot be a tree. Because why it cannot be a tree? Because there is no connection between all these three sets. They are like disconnected, and it is actually termed as a forest. When you come back over here, there is a cycle here, so you cannot have any cycle in a tree. So this example cannot be considered, whereas these are the three valid examples for the tree. So in short, if you remember the definition, tree is nothing but it should be a connected as well as there should not be any cycle. There should not be any cycle in the tree. So this is regarding the definition of the tree. Next we will learn regarding the properties of the tree. So in the properties, the first property is in a tree there is only one and only one path between every pair of vertices that you're supposed to prove. So for example, if you take the tree with 5 vertices, just imagine 1, 2, 3, 6 vertices. Okay, this is the tree. So if you just take with this is an example. So in a tree there is only one and only one path. This is the tree. So according to the tree definition, it should be connected and there should not be any cycle. So this is an example for tree. If you see this particular tree, there is only one path between every pair of vertices. Just check. There is only one path. So this proves our property. Okay. So same thing. Let us define in a theoretical way. Let T be a tree. Let T be a tree. Then T is a connected simple graph. So if you see over here, there is no cycle and there is no parallel edges. So simple graph constraint is being followed, and as well as it is a connected graph. There is a connection between every pair of vertices. So this is a connected simple graph. Since T is connected, there must be at least one path. If it is a connected graph, then what is the meaning? There should be at least one path between every pair of vertices. Yes, if there are two paths between a pair of vertices, then it forms a cycle. And T cannot be a tree. Thus, between every pair of vertices, there must be exist only one path. So this proves regarding the theorem 1. Theorem 2, if in a graph G, there is one and only one path between every pair of vertices, then G is a tree. Inverse he has asked. If there is only one path, first he has told in a tree there is only one and only one path between every pair of vertices. Now he has told that if it exists only one and only one path, then it should be a tree. Ulta. That's what he has told. If in a graph G there is only one and only one path between every pair, then G is a tree. So now you just go in the reverse way. So what will happen? If it is having only one path, if it has more than one path, then it will form a cycle, then it cannot be a tree. So there should exist only one path. So since there is a path between every pair of vertices in G, it is obvious that G is connected. Okay. He has told if in a graph G there is only one path between every pair of vertices. Yes, if there is only one path, so exist only one path means then a tree is connected and there is only one path between every. G cannot have a cycle, because if there is a cycle, then it exists two paths between pair of vertices. Thus G is a connected graph containing no cycle. It is a connected graph containing no cycle. That means G is a tree. So these two theorems are similar, the statement is told in the reverse way, so it can be combined and formed in one statement. A graph G is a tree if and only if there exists only one and only one path between every pair of vertices in a G. So this is regarding the two properties combination, and they have done it as one. You have to explain in the theoretical way how it can be explained. Theorem 3 is regarding a tree with n vertices as n minus 1 edges. You're supposed to prove that a tree with n vertices. For example, let us take our same example of tree, that is this example. Okay, so if you see this particular tree, you check number of vertices, it is actually 7 vertices. If you just cross verify, then we would have 7 vertices, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. If you just count the edges, 1 2 3 4 5 6, so there are 7 vertices and 6 edges. So it has been proved by just taking a random example of tree, but you're supposed to prove for all the number of vertices. Now when you have one vertex, that is n is equal to 1, then edge is equal to 0. When you have n is equal to 2, that is 2 vertex. If you have 2 vertex, then you know graph means a tree means it should be a connected. That means there should be one edge, but there should not be any cycle. So if it is n is equal to 2, then edge is equal to 1. And in case if you have vertex is equal to 3, then they can be 2 edges. That is n is equal to 3, edge is equal to 2. So you can just verify over here itself. If vertex is 1, edge is 1 less than that. If vertex is 2, 1 less than that is the edge. If vertex is 3, 2 is the number of edges. So that's what they have told here. The theorem is obvious for n is equal to 1, 2, 3. So just see the three figures in previous, whatever we had seen in the figures of this, they have told. That is for this 2 and 3, you just have these. So I've explained over here itself. And assume that the theorem holds for all the vertices, that is for n vertices, any number of vertices where n is less than or equal to k for a specified positive integer k. Okay, you need to assume that it is true for n is less than or equal to k for a specified integer k. Now we'll consider this tree itself. Consider tree with k plus 1 vertices. Okay, now what is this k? You can take any positive integer plus 1 vertices. So I'll take, here we have 7, right? 7 vertices. So I'll take k as 6, that is 6 as k, and then tree with k plus 1 vertex, right? So a tree would be k plus 1 vertex, that is nothing but 6 plus 1, that is equal to 7 vertex. So this is a tree with 7 vertex if you just see. So consider tree t with k plus 1 vertices. In t, let e be an edge with end vertices u and v. So let me take this as u, and let me take this as v, this vertex as v, and this vertex as u. So in t, let e be an edge with end vertices u and v. Since t is a tree, obvious, if it is a tree, it should not have any cycle, and there should exist only one edge or path between u and v. Hence, deletion of e. For example, if this is an edge between u and v, so if I just remove this particular edge, what would be the tree be? The tree would be nothing but something like this structure. Okay, one is this and one is just one vertex, that's it. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 with 6 vertex, and 1 2 3 4 5 with 5 edges, and 1 vertex and 0 edges. So if I would, hence deletion of e from t will disconnect the graph t minus e consists of exactly 2 components, say t1 and t2. That is 2 components is nothing but this graph. This graph entirely is divided into t1 and t2. Hence t1 and t2 are trees in their own rights. If you see that this is one tree and this is one tree, both of these trees have less than k plus 1 vertices. So what is k plus 1 vertices? What is a k plus 1? K plus 1 is nothing but equal to 7. So if you see, one is the vertex which is less than or equal to 7, and other one is the 6 vertex which is less than or equal to 7. So that proves both of these have less than k plus 1 vertices each, and therefore according to the assumption made, the theorem holds for these trees, that is each of t1 and t2 contains one less edge than the number of vertices in it. So if you see over here, it contains one less. 6 vertices means 5 edges, 1 vertex means 0 edges. So therefore, since the total number of vertices in t1 and t2 is k plus 1, total number of vertices in k plus 1, that is nothing but 7, the total number of edges in t1 plus t2 would be what? Total number of vertices is k plus 1, then the total number of edges in t1 and t2 taken together is nothing but k plus 1 minus 2, that is nothing but equal to k minus 1. So this is nothing but since the total number of vertices taken together is k plus 1. Now if you taken together, if I take t1 and t2 together, if I take 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, okay, but the total number of edges, if you see, it is 1 2 3 4 5, that is k plus 1 minus 2. So if you see over here, it is nothing but total number of edges. Just calculate the total number of edges in t1 plus t2. It is nothing but 5. So k value we had taken it as 6. So it is 6 plus 1 minus 2 would give you 6 minus 1 is equal to k minus 1. That is nothing but 5 equal to 5. But t1 and t2 taken together is t minus c. If I take it as together, if I take this as entirely t, then there are, I mean, if it is taken togetherly, if it is taken together is t minus e. Thus t minus e contains actually how many edges? K minus 1 edges. So it has exactly, t has exactly the k edges. T has exactly the k edges. So this is regarding the theorem 3. Next is regarding theorem 4. Now what he has told in the theorem 4 is any connected graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edge is a tree. Any connected graph. So what do you mean by a connected graph? They should, from each vertex, it should be able to move to any other part of the vertexes. Any other part of the vertexes. So any vertex with n vertices and any connected graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges is a tree. So here he has given a proof. So let me give a simplified proof for this. So just write down this proof over here. Let G be a graph. Whatever the proof is given over here is a bit confusing. So let us consider this particular proof. Let G be a graph. Let G be a graph with n vertices. And n edges. Let G be a graph. So this is a graph with n vertices and n edges. So if you see over here 1 2 3 4, eliminate this particular edge. It's just 1 2 3 4 5 6 vertices, and edges if you count 1 2 3 4 5 6. So let G be a graph with n vertices and n edges. That is this graph I am considering. Okay, and by observing this particular graph, whether it is a cycle, yes, by observation G is a cycle. Graph G is a cycle. By observation, just write graph G is a cycle. So let E be an edge. Let E, small e, okay, be an edge. Let E be an edge that belongs to graph G. So if you just delete this particular edge, that is this edge, okay, if I just delete this particular edge, delete E from edge, delete E from graph G, G minus C, that is delete, after deleting this, it is still a connected graph. If you just check, after deleting this particular edge, it is still connected graph. We can reach any number of vertices from any other end also. So is still a connected graph. Is still a connected graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges. So if you see the previous one, we had n vertices and n edges. Now when I remove this particular edge, it would be n vertices with n minus 1 edges. So a connected graph with n vertices and n minus 1. If you just remove this particular edge, then I have one edge, I mean, when I remove this particular edge, then I have one edge between all the vertices, and the number of edges is one less than that particular of vertices. If I remove this particular edge, then vertices is 6, I guess, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and edges would be 5. Just cross verify. It is 1 2 3 4 5. So it is what exactly? There is no cycle, and again it is a connected graph. So this entire graph, if I remove this particular edge, it is a tree. So still connected graph with n vertices n minus 1 edge. A connected graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges is a tree. Okay, so this is regarding the theorem 4. So same thing he has explained over here, but he has considered in a different way. So you can consider with this way: let G be a graph with n vertices and n edges. By observation, it is a cycle. You can see over here, because you have an entirely circle and all these are connected. So if I want to consider an edge, and if I remove that particular edge, still I can reach all the nodes. So it is a connected graph. So even after I remove that particular edge, it becomes a tree. So a connected graph, any connected graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges is always a tree. In case if it is a n vertex with n edges, then it is not a tree. It is a cycle. It forms a cycle. So this is regarding the theorem 4. So same concept is been explained in this theorem 5 and theorem 6. So a connected graph G is a tree. A connected graph G is a tree if and only if adding an edge between any two vertices in G creates exactly one cycle in G. Okay, so he has told, now for example, same example, if you just take, you had two vertices over here, then you had over here two vertex, and here you had two vertex. So this was like something like this. Okay, previous example I'm just considering. Okay, just taking the previous example. A connected graph, this is a connected graph, is a tree if and only if adding an edge between any two vertices. That means adding an, if and only if you add an edge between any two vertices, it creates exactly one cycle in G. Okay, so same thing he has explained over here. Suppose a connected graph is tree. Now for example, if it was a tree, means there was no edge over here. Agree? If it was a tree, then it is a connected graph and there would not be a tree. A connected graph is a tree, means this is the figure. Then G has no cycle and there is exactly one path between two vertices U and V. For example, let this be a U and V. Okay, there is only exactly one path between the two vertices U and V, and the two path constitutes a cycle. Now for example, if I build one more path over here, then it would consider a cycle. Since G had no cycle earlier, this is the only cycle which G now possesses. Okay, since G had no cycle, this is the only one where G now possesses cycle. Suppose G is connected. Okay, suppose G is connected and adding between edge. Now if this is U, this is conversely, this is one definition, one proof. Other proof you can prove it in this way also. Suppose G is connected, okay, this way, and adding an edge between any two vertices U and G creates exactly one cycle in G. Now if I consider U and V, and if I put an edge between these two, it exactly creates one cycle. So this implies that before adding this edge, exactly one path was there between U and V. This implied that G is a tree. So theoretically, you're going to explain the same concept of this graph over here. Okay, next is a connected graph is a tree if and only if it is minimally connected. Minimally connected means there should be only one edge, meaning is again there should not be any cycle. Okay, minimally connected means there again that same graph example, if you take from this to this, and then you had one, again one, and then again one, and then again one. So if you take this particular graph itself, is a tree if and only if it is minimally connected, means only one edge between the two pair of vertices. So that is the meaning. Suppose G is a connected graph which is not a tree. Which is not a tree means what? It has again one more edge if you consider it. Okay, then G contains a cycle. The removal of any one edge, if I remove this particular edge, will not make the graph disconnected. If I remove this particular graph edge, then it will not make this particular graph disconnected. You can move from this to this, it's a connected. You can move from this way, or you can go back and move to this, and again go from here to here. You can move from here to here. You can move, like your movement is not there because that edge I have removed. So then G contains therefore from this cycle will not make the graph disconnected. If I remove this particular edge, then it would not make the graph disconnected. Okay, so therefore G is not minimally connected. Thus if a connected graph is not a tree, then it is not a minimally connected. So a connected graph is a tree if and only if it is a minimally connected. So here G is not a minimally connected. Thus if a connected graph is not a tree, then it is, if it is not a tree, if it is a tree, then it is a minimally connected. If it is not a tree, again this edge would be there. Okay, not a tree, then it is not a minimally connected. If it, understand the concept, if it is not a tree, then this would be connected. That means what? It is not minimally connected. So this is equivalent to saying that if a connected graph is minimally connected, then it is a tree. Contrapositive. We are using the concept of contrapositive. That's if a graph is not a tree, then it is not minimally connected. So this is equivalent to saying that if a connected graph is minimally connected, then it is a tree. So same example taking the same example, they've explained 3 theorems. So you have to write the explanation theoretically for these 3 examples. So this is regarding the properties of trees. So these are the 4 properties of trees. Now let us go to the example problem. So in the first example, he has told that let T1 is equal to V1, E1. Let T1 is equal to V1, E1. And T2 is equal to V2, E2. Be 2 trees. That means he has told, meaning is nothing but T1 is equal to V1, E1 and T2 is equal to V2, E2. Be 2 trees if modulus of H1 is given. E1 is 19 and he has given that V2 is nothing but thrice of V1 and he has told determine V1, determine V2, and determine E3. E2 and determine E2. Now what is given over here? We just have concept of E1 is equal to 19. We know that it is given E1 is equal to 19. From this therefore we know that V1 is nothing but E1 minus V1 is nothing but we know that E1 is nothing but V1 minus 1. If you remember the concept, in a tree, it's both are trees. If you remember the concept, if there are n vertices, then there are n minus 1 edges. Same way, this is if there are n vertices, then there are n minus 1 edges. So we know that edges is equal to V1 minus 1. That formula we are going to use, V1 minus 1. So we know E1. So modulus of V1 would be nothing but mod of E1 plus 1. So that is nothing but 19 plus 1. It would give me 20. So this, from this I got V1. Next I know that V2 is thrice of V1. So V2 is nothing but 3 times of V1. So that is nothing but 3 into 20. So that is 60. I got the answer of V2 also. Now he told to find E2. So you know that E2 is nothing but V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1, because in a tree one more will be the number of vertices than edge, that is edges will be one less than the vertices. So V2 minus 1 would give me the edges. So V2 is 60. So 60 minus 1 would give me 59. So this proves regarding this calculates the number of vertices as well as the number of edges and the number of number of vertices as well as the number of edges in the 2 graphs. That is V1 we have calculated, V2 and E2. Second example is if a tree has 2020 vertices. If a tree, that means let us consider V1 is equal to 2020 vertices. Find the sum of degrees of the vertices. Find the sum of degrees of the vertices. So what, since the number of vertices is given as, I mean if I take V1 is equal to 20, then the number of its edges would be what? What are the number of edges? Number of edges is nothing but 1 less than that of the vertex, that is V1 minus 1. So that is nothing but 2020 minus 1. So this would give me 2019. Therefore you know that we have to find the sum of degrees of vertices. If you remember the handshaking property, the sum of the degrees of the vertices is by handshaking property, the sum of the degree of vertices is equal to twice the number of edges. So the sum of the degrees of the vertices we don't know, twice the edges we know, so it is 2 into 2019. This is what we are supposed to calculate, so it would give me the answer as 4038. So the number of the sum of the degrees of the vertices is nothing but 4038. So this is regarding the example 2. Next we have the example, prove that a tree with 2 or more vertices contains at least 2 pendant vertices. So what we need to prove, a tree with 2 or more vertices as exactly 2 leaf vertices. So let us consider this example. Consider first we'll write, consider a tree with consider a tree T, that is T, with n vertices, where n is greater than or equal to 2, then it has n minus 1 edges. Okay, consider a tree T with n vertices where n is greater than or equal to 2, then it has n minus 1 edges. Therefore, we know that by handshaking property, the sum of the degrees of n vertices, the sum of the degrees of n vertices is equal to twice the number of edges, is equal to nothing but twice the number of edges, that is nothing but 2 into, here in the tree we have n minus 1, that is nothing but 2n minus 2. So that is, if we want to write in terms of degrees, then it would be d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus dn, so on till dn, would give me 2 into n minus 1 is equal to 2n minus 2. Okay, so I'll just repeat. He has told, prove that a tree with 2 or more vertices, more than, that is, if this is a tree, okay, I'll just take 2 or more vertices, contains at least 2 pendant vertices. So this is more than 2, 3 vertices, it has 2 pendant vertices. Now for example, if I had drawn that same figure of 7 vertices, then it would have 4 pendant vertices, 1 2 3 4. So here this is an example. Prove that tree with 2 or 2, if it is a 2 also, 2 or more vertices, contains at least 2 leaf pendant vertices. So this is also pendant vertex, this is also pendant vertex. Okay, so if it is 2 or 3 or more than that, this is also pendant. A vertex with degree 1 is always called a pendant vertex. Okay, so that's what he has told to prove. With 2 or more vertices, prove that contains at least 2 pendant vertices. So if you see over here, with the 2 it has 2, with the 3 also it has 2, more than 3 also 1 2 3 4, it is 2 or more. Okay, 2 or more is there. So here I consider a tree with n vertices. I don't know the number of vertices, I consider the tree with n vertices where n is greater than or equal to 2. That means I consider this itself. Then you know, if it is n vertices, then there are n minus 1 edges, then it has n minus 1 edges. But by using handshaking property, the sum of the degrees is equal to twice the number of edges. So that's what I have written. 2 into n minus 1, I got 2n minus 2. So if now after this, if d1 d2, if d1 comma d2 comma d3 comma d1 dn is equal to, is equal to or greater than 2, then the number of edges is equal to greater than 2, then the number of edges would be then the number of edges is at least 2n, So if you see, if each degree, if d1 or these, if d1 d2 as is equal to, their degree, for example, if you see this particular degree 1 2 3, this vertex has 3 degree, if this vertex has each vertex 1 2, okay, so forget about these vertex, I'm just telling these 2 vertex if you consider. So if d1 d2 d3 dn, if all these vertices is having greater than or equal to 2, their degree is greater than or equal to 2, then the number of at least edge is what? 2. At least they have 2n, that means 2 into whatever the degree, 2 into 1. Okay, but it is, but if it is, but if it is 2n minus 2, that means there are 2 pendant vertices vertices with degree 1, with degree 1. So they, meaning is, what do you mean by this is, there cannot be any degree. That means, for example, there cannot be any vertex with the degree 0. Okay, as we have two so if you see here, what is this 2n minus 1 minus 2 means 2. Now explanation is just for this point. Okay, 2n minus 2 means if your degrees have at least, if your d1 d2 d3 all these have greater than or equal to 2. For example, if your all these edges have greater than or equal to 2, if their degree is almost greater than or equal to 2 means, then each vertex should have minimum 2, and greater, it can be, n can be anything, into n it can be anything, either one positive integer greater than or equal to 1. So if it is greater than or equal to 2 means least it can have 2, max based on the n value. So if this vertex, if you consider, it has 2. If this vertex, if you consider, it has 1 2 3. Okay, so if all these had greater than or equal to 2, then it would be 2n. Their degree would be, some of the degrees would be 2n, but in our case we have 2n minus 2. So why this minus 2? So that means what, this 2 is of, there are 2 degrees, I mean there are 2 vertices of degree 1, that's why 2n minus 2. That means there are 2 vertices of degree 1. So then the number of edges is at least 2n, but if it is 2n minus 1, that means there is 2 pendant vertex with degree 1, with degree 1. So this proves that there, a tree with, just write this, a tree with 2 or more vertices contain at least 2 leaves. A tree with 2 or more vertices contains at least 2 leaves. And also remember that there cannot be any degree with 0. Okay, in this, so if you see this pendant vertex, don't get confused, it has a degree above here. If it is not below, if there is a degree above here, so there cannot be any vertex with degree 0. So there should be minimum of degree 1. So if you see in this particular figure, this formula is getting 2n minus 2. Why minus 2? Because there might be any possibility of 2 vertices with degree 1. So this has been proved over here. So this is regarding the concept of example 3. Next one is example 4. Suppose that a tree T has 2 vertices of degree 2. Suppose that tree T has 2 vertices. He has given that. Suppose that the tree has 2 vertices of degree 2. Okay, this is degree 2, and 4 vertices of degree 3 and 3 vertices of degree 4. Okay, he has given, suppose that the tree has 2 vertices, 4 vertices, 3 vertices. Find the number of pendant vertices in a tree. So pendant vertices you have to find. Okay, he has given, suppose that the tree has 2 vertices of degree 2, 4 vertices of degree 3 and 3 vertices of degree 3. Find the number of pendant vertices in tree. So what is this number of, how we can do is, we can find first the total number of vertices. So that is nothing but pendant vertex. If you can consider pendant vertex to be, let us consider that pendant vertex to be n, then this n plus this 2 plus this 4 plus this 3 would give me total number of vertices. Same way I can find the total number of edges also, and by using handshaking property I can find the number of pendant vertex. So let us solve this problem. First I'll take, let n be the number of pendant vertex. He has told find the number of pendant vertex, right? So I'll take that, let n be the number of pendant vertices in tree. Pendant vertices in tree in T. Okay, it is given that T has 2 vertices. T has 2 vertices. You can just write it is given that T has 2 vertices of degree 2, 4 vertices. I just wrote V, you are supposed to write vertices of degree 3 and 3 vertices of degree 4. Therefore total number of vertices is equal to nothing but n plus total number of vertices is equal to nothing but, this is the pendant vertex, and remaining all these, how many vertices are there? There are 2 vertex of over here and plus 4 vertex, and then you have 3 vertex. Okay, if you just see over here, there are 2 vertex, 4 vertex and 3 vertex. So total number of including that pendant vertex would be nothing but n plus 9. And what would be the sum of the degrees if you would want to find? You know that for pendant vertex it is 1. So let us find the sum of the degrees. Sum of degrees of vertices is equal to nothing but n into 1, that is of pendant vertex, because we know n pendant vertices are there and their degree is always 1, so n into 1 plus 2 vertex into their degree, 2 into 2 plus 4 vertex into their degree, so it is 4 into 3 plus 3 vertex into degree 4, so 3 into 4. So this would result into n plus 28, that is 4 plus 12 plus 12, 24, 24 plus 4 is 28. So sum of the degrees is n plus 28. Now you came to know regarding sum of the vertex. I know handshaking property is nothing but sum of the degrees is equal to twice the number of edges. So find the number of edges. Since T has 9 plus 1 vertices, it has how many edges? 9 plus 9 minus 1, if you remember the concept. It has 1 less than that of vertices. So 9 plus 9 minus 1, so that would give me 9 plus 8 edges. Okay, now apply the handshaking property. Therefore by handshaking property, number of edges is equal to, that is n plus 8 is equal to, sum of the degrees is equal to twice the number of edges. Sum of the degrees is equal to twice the number of edges. So what is sum of the degrees? N plus 28, that is equal to twice the number of edges, that is n plus 8. So this would result in n plus 28 is equal to 2n plus 16. 8 to the 16. So if you take 28 minus 16 over here, and 2n minus n would give you n. So 28 minus 16 would give you n is equal to 12. So there are 12 pendant vertices. So this is regarding the example 4. Example 5, if a tree T has 4 vertices of degree, it's a similar problem. If a tree T has 4 vertices of degree 2, 4 vertices of degree 2, 1 vertex of degree 3 and 2 vertex of degree 4 and 1 vertex of degree 5. Find the number of leaves in it. Leaves in it is nothing but pendant vertex itself you have to find. So similar way, I'll write over here. Let n be the number of leaves. Let n be the number of leaves. That is nothing but within the bracket, it meaning is nothing but pendant vertex itself. Pendant vertices in T. Then total number of vertices. Total number of vertices is equal to n plus these all vertices. Okay, 4, 1, 2, 1. So it is n plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. That is nothing but n plus 8. It is nothing but n plus 8. Okay, and the sum of the degrees is what? Sum of the degrees of the vertices would be what? N into 1 plus 4 vertices having degree 2, 4 into 2 plus 1 vertex is having degree 3, I have written here, plus 2 vertex is having degree 4 and plus 1 vertex is having degree 5. So this would give me n plus 24. Okay, and then you want to find the number of, since T has n plus 8, since T has n plus 8 vertices, since T has n plus 8 vertices, then it would have n plus 8 minus 1 edges, that is n plus 7 edges. So therefore, by handshaking property, Therefore, by handshaking property, number of edges, I mean sum of the degrees of vertices, that is n plus 24, sum of the degrees of vertices is equal to twice the number of edges, n plus 7. So this would result nothing but n plus 24 is equal to 2n plus 14. So n would be nothing but 10. If you just 24 minus 14 would give you 10, so n would be 10. So this is nothing but the number of leaves. So this is regarding the example 5. Example 6. Suppose that a tree T has n1 vertices of degree 1, n2 vertices of degree 2 and n3 of degree 3, so on nk vertices of degree 5. Then prove that n1 is equal to 2 plus n3 plus 2n4 plus 3n5 plus so on till k minus 2 nk. Okay, so this is what you have to prove. Suppose that a tree has n1 vertices of degree 1, n2 of 2, n3 of 3 and nk vertices of 5. Prove that is equal, this is left hand side is equal to right hand side. So let us solve in a new page. So what we are supposed to prove is n1 is equal to 2 plus n3 plus 2n4 plus 3n5 plus so on plus k minus 2 into nk. So this is what we are supposed to prove. So let us see let us find the number of vertices from what is given. Okay, so and we'll find number of edges as well as the sum of the degrees. So from what is given, we note that in T, total number of vertices is equal to n1 plus n2 plus so on nk. Okay, total number of vertices n1 plus n2 plus nk. You can see, suppose that tree has n1 vertices, n2 vertices, n3 vertices, nk. All these are, n1 has vertices of degree 1, n2 has degree 2, n3 has degree 3, nk has degree 5. So total number of vertices is n1 plus n2 plus nk. Now if you want to find the sum of the degrees of vertices, then it is equal to n1 into 1, 2n2, because 2 into n2, we know that n3 has 3 degree, n4 has 4 degrees, so say 3n3, 4n4, 5n5 till so on nk has k, right? So it is k. Therefore, the total number of edges, what would be the total number of edges? Total number of edges is equal to n1 plus n2 plus so on plus nk minus 1. You remember this minus 1, that is equal to total. By handshaking property, we know that sum of the degrees is equal to twice the number of edges. So it is nothing but n1 plus 2n2 plus 3n3 plus 4n4 plus 5n5 plus so on plus knk is equal to twice the number of edges, n1 plus n2 plus so on plus nk minus 1. Okay, that is nk minus 1 is total. Okay, nk minus 1. So this was twice the number of edges. So from this, rearranging the terms means what will happen? To just multiply, this will be 2n1 plus 2n2 plus 2n3, okay, and plus so on 2nk minus 2. Okay, so here it would be nothing but, if I just, this would be like this, 2n1, 2n2, 2n2 and 2n3 plus so on, 2nk minus old 2. Now what I'll do is, I'll just, this is equal to this, so I'll just put this into left side. Whatever n1 minus n2, I'll keep it here. Okay, I'll just keep it here. N1 I'll get it this side, so it would be nothing but 2n minus 2n1 minus n1 and this minus 2, so that would give me, rest all I'll take that side, so that would give me just n1 minus 2, n1 minus 2, n1 minus 2, n1 minus 2. Okay, that would give me n1 minus 2. So that just I took this here, I got it over here. Here this side it would be, that is this I just wrote it over here, this I'll write over here. That is same thing, you write it for the second step. Here it would be n1, I took it over there, so 2n2 minus n2, 2n2 over here, and this would get cancelled. 2n3 minus 2n3, so that would give me actually just n3, and 4n4 plus next 2n4, that would give me plus 2n4, and 5n5 minus 2n5, so that would give me 3n5 plus so on, k and k minus 2nk. So if I take k common, if I take nk common, then it would be k minus 2 into nk. Okay, so that if I try to prove over here, it would be nothing but, I get it over here, this, that is n3 plus 2n4 plus 3n5 plus k into minus 2 into nk. So I got this way, so I just get to this side, so I'll write it over here. So above, continuation is over here, I'll just write it here. So that would be nothing but, I would take n1 this side and 2 I take it that side, so it would be 2 plus n3 plus 2n4 plus 3n5 plus so on till k minus 2 into nk. So this proves the required result. So this is regarding the example 6.